Hello and welcome to JomezPro's coverage of the Portland Open Disc Golf Pro Tour presented by Discraft and Bevel Craft Brewing. We're in Portland, Oregon at Blue Lake Park Disc Golf Course, and we got a good one for you. BigSexy commentary, Nate Sexton and Jeremy Koling.
It's the BigSexy triumphant return to the Disc Golf Pro Tour, the first event that we are going to be able to cover from beginning to end. And we've got a handsome gentleman right... Wait for it.
Come on. There he is.
Michael Johansen. Obviously, you know him as a woods golfer, but he's also got all the distance he needs to compete well out here at this big open course.
Eric Oakley saw a really big bird behind the camera here, and he was just dumbfounded. Bald eagle, probably.
Or someone else.
And this is Alex Russell from just across the river, I believe, Vancouver area in Washington, and he is a local player. He's played this course many times.
We've got a couple locals. I think the locals, or the people in Oregon, they like to claim Corvallis. They like to claim you and any of the other Sextons. So there's going to be quite a few people out here watching their local favorites. And Alex Russell, obviously a player that's been doing really well on the disc golf scene this year. So this is going to be a really exciting round to watch.
Yeah, hole 1 is a low ceiling par 3 at 455. Normal rules for this course, this would be a par 4, but I think a good change. Pro Tour. Biggest arms in the world on display. It's been reduced to a par 3, so it's a really hard par 3 now.
I'm trying to remember what they had it labeled as back in 2014.
I believe a 4.
Okay.
This is a star sidewinder.
And that's heavy cut, which is the way you want to throw it to get to the pin.
This was going to get there, I think.
Yeah, it certainly would have been at least 10 feet to 15 feet closer.
Yeah.
That was a great start.
Eric up second. It's really a majority roller play. I think you can't really go for a 2 with an air shot.
No.
But you can throw a nice safe air shot and guarantee a 3.
Yeah, if you see someone throw an air shot, you know that they're not playing this for a 2 at all. MJ can throw rollers, but he likes to go the big high sky roller, so I would imagine he's probably going to try out air out. Yeah, just to get it down the fairway, take a 3.
Nice and easy. Pretty good skip even.
Yeah,
He's actually kind of in there with a long look.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely see someone be making an 80-foot putt.
And nice cheer for Alex.
Came straight from the racetrack, ready to go.
Actually, the first time I've ever played with Alex, because he only turned pro, I believe, in 2015, and I was already on the East Coast by then. So,
oh, wow.
Really happy to get the chance to play with him because I've seen him doing some good stuff.
And that had a great angle. Weird bounce at first. Yeah, it didn't hit any tree, so that's going to leave him about 68 to 70 feet.
Here's Eric, forehand approach.
Oh, Eric, that grass out here has got a lot of thickness to it. You're not going to see many skips on grass like this.
No, he unfortunately way too low with that, and a disappointing shot. He's got a long putt left. Well outside circle 2.
And that's a disappointing start.
Alex with a nice effort.
This is one where, like, the only time you ever walk away feeling good is with a 2.
Yeah.
And you don't feel bad with a 3, but you do feel bad with a 4. That's good effort.
Yeah, kind of. Didn't quite have the juice it needed, but that's okay. I was happy to get the drive down there to circle 2, make an easy par.
I mean, I suppose you could hit an early tree trying to do the roller play, or
yeah, absolutely.
Air shot, hit the high ceiling and drop down, and then save your 3, and you'll feel better. But yeah, it certainly is this is a pro par 3 all the way, and very challenging, and like I said, very rewarding. Only 7 players were able to get the 2.
Wow.
On the first round. And we have a field size of 110, so
yeah,
put it in perspective a bit.
Hole 2, par 3, 425. Mandatory tree on the far right prevents you from throwing the big righty backhand hyzer over the out of bounds. OB rough, that's kind of a theme at Blue Lake. If you ever see long grass, it's most likely OB. And then you've got OB kind of Disc Golf Pro Tour wall over there. I believe the wall is the line here on the right side.
And when you're standing on the tee, the basket's right there in front of you. It doesn't look like it's that far away, but it really is a full huck of a sidearm to get there. And this is way wide. It's got enough height to swing back inbounds, most likely. Yep. Oh, yeah. Getting that full flex with that swirly Star Destroyer.
Yeah, I was happy with that.
MJ going the hyzer line.
A little low, but it's trying to get up there. Probably 100 short.
Yeah, if you don't have that sidearm, that backhand ante gets so scary getting that angle right to bend and break and finish flat at 425 feet. Alex is a player we've seen throw some really big forehands this year. He's throwing a champion boss, I believe.
I believe you're right.
And he has really been loving that thing.
I think this is a Raider.
Yeah, Eric's been loving the Raider.
With good reason, it looks like.
Yeah, that thing flipped up nicely. Wow, that shows off how much distance. That's huge. I mean,
425
on all hyzer. And if we have some disc golf historians, you might recall the 2014 playoff that happened out here between Ricky Wysocki and Paul McBeth.
See Alex from 49 feet for the deuce.
And the reason I mention that is because Ricky Wysocki put his sidearm under the basket. McBeth was 35 long. In the playoff, McBeth stood down the putt, made it, continued the playoff going. One of the more epic showdowns we've ever had in the sport of disc golf, and obviously Paul McBeth reigned supreme that year. 3 really nice birdies. I think the really important thing about this course is getting these birdies early. The par 3s kind of disappear in the back 9.
Yeah, you really have about the first 10 holes to get under par, and then after that, it kind of just feels like survival.
Hold on for dear life.
Hole 3 is a par 4, 550 feet. Most common play, big backhand hyzer from a righty. Try to get actually kind of as short as you can. As you can see, there's sort of a gap to the pin here. If you push it back into these trees, you sort of get into a no man's land where you don't have much of a play until you get really long, and then there's maybe a backdoor window. But as you can see, classic Blue Lake, really tight green, a lot of out of bounds.
And really scary out of bounds, too. You know, there's out of bounds where you just take a stroke, but there's out of bounds that's not water where you lose a disc. And this is certainly the kind of rough where in a tournament play you feel good because there's spotters, but in a casual round, you're going to spend 30 minutes to look for discs.
Yeah. Alex, this is that little bit tighter line, and that is really
Oh, my goodness. I thought he had hit early trees. That is as good as a backhand can be thrown in this hole.
It's scary to me because you are messing with that OB on the backside, like as it lands, but a fantastic spot to be.
And that looked ideal, but you can see that had it not hit the trees, may have been a bit long, but I still think that you take that shot every time.
Yeah. And MJ keeps it short of the trees.
Oh, yeah.
Nicely done.
Yeah, as long as he's not pinned up against that, he's going to have a good look.
I felt like there was nothing here. I just had to play this little chip. I thought I threw it straight OB. Probably shouldn't be throwing a Firebird at 80 feet. I should probably go with a
you
different
had the disc in your hand ready to go.
Just ready, yeah, and I'll just toss it. But
I came through here about an hour after you had, and the spotter said, Nate had this wide open backdoor line. You didn't even see it.
Not true.
So,
I'm not. I mean,
I still believe him over you, though.
Yeah, that's fine, but yeah, I don't think that's true. I looked around quite a lot.
And MJ just barely getting inside the circle. Gonna have a nice open look for birdie. And look at that drive from Alex. Just nothing in the way.
So good.
Just play catch with the ground right there.
The ground is a great catch point.
Mm-hmm. It's never lost. I mean, if you throw it to it.
Four is not so bad on this hole, especially if you're out of position.
Mm-hmm. This is a good par 4. It has a great scoring spread at 27% birdie. There's one of that 27%.
Yeah,
and 45% par and 28% bogey and above. So It's like a nice scoring separation hole where it's fair. It rewards 2 great shots. It's really tricky off the tee. It's blind. It's a lot of good things going into it.
This is the first run IPA.
Come visit us in Bend. You'll get fresh beer. You'll get some hospitality, and I guarantee you'll either see Val, Justin, or I.
Fresh as you can get it, right here.
And we just got back from Bend, and I'll tell you firsthand, what an experience. Beautiful bar, disc golf everywhere. And did you see that little flight plate?
Yeah.
It's a flight plate. Come on. That's pretty good, right?
I'm looking forward to going.
It's sweet. It's a great experience.
Hole 4, par 3, 295, OB on the left side and long. The rough on the right is actually safe, but it's pretty nasty. Backhand mid-range or putter, or maybe forehand driver here. Common plays.
Is that an AVR that Alex
I believe
is
so, yeah.
Just ripping an AVR and coming up a bit short. You want to get that a little bit closer, but that is missing on the right side. You just don't want to go left.
Purple banger.
MJ's fine with that, even if it gets in the woods a little bit. Yeah, which he didn't. And straddle out. Just don't go deep in there. That's the only thing you got to avoid.
I'm going with Firebird.
That really surprised me.
It's not great.
Actually, I'm not surprised.
I need to throw it a little bit farther there. I kind of got into the woods more than I would like.
It is a bit scary pushing that out of bounds left side. As you see, Eric is pushing that, but I think it's going to come up short. Oh, even hitting the stake.
Safe.
Oh, yeah.
Good result.
Cool. Right? I mean, those are the stakes, right?
Yeah, it'd be this. It'd be this.
Yeah, it's clearly safe.
Cool.
Alex for another putt outside the circle here. Get this one going. Yeah.
Beautiful.
That's one of the things that's really set him apart this season from previous years. I know he's always been a good putter, but I think he's really connecting on a higher percentage this year than any other year.
Yeah.
And it's showing. And what do you see?
I had to putt kind of real, like a high little spinner.
Oh, my gosh. Look at that.
Got a piece of a tree, but it fought on through.
Look at the focus. You didn't even blink, dude.
Don't have time.
But it wasn't enough to stop it.
Eric connects.
Right in the heart. And MJ is going to scuttle up here, and it looks like we might have our first star frame of the day. Oh, yeah.
There it is. Star frame for the group. We got a new thing going. Jomez is going to donate $25 to disc golf charities. This one is for Edge, every star frame. So if you've got some suggestions for some disc golf themed nonprofit charity organizations, we're looking to get some star frames for you guys and get some of that money back into the sport.
It's a pretty cool thing.
Hole 4, 575, par 4. This one breaks hard right. You want to throw straight about 380 feet. Come to rest there where you can see the basket and then play the 200-foot shot over to the pin. Alex going forehand.
And that's the play. If you got it, throw about 380 feet and land right about there.
Yeah.
And once you get on the other side or the downslope of that hill, the basket is pretty much on the same plane, nothing in the way.
And that looked so easy for Alex. That
Yeah.
380, he just kind of
He just got that whip.
touched it.
Yeah, he just kind of turns his hips and that disc just comes ripping out.
MJ with probably a Comet. I'm going with Destroyer.
That looks really nice. In a way, I kind of wish this were like hole 16 or 17 because there is a legitimate eagle chance at this one, but you'll never see it because it's too early in the round. You never
to
need
try
it
to
right
go
now.
for the giant turning shot.
Right. Like, it's not that far. I mean, 575, I'm sure as the crow flies, it's probably closer to 500.
Yeah, there's certainly players that could get up in there in circle 2.
Mm-hmm. But you just won't see it. It's just way too early in the round. There's too much treachery in the back nine to throw anything away so early.
Mm-hmm. MJ with the blind shot up to the pin.
And that is awesome. Unable to see the pin from where he's at, completely trusting the line of the distance. Coming up just a bit short, but in the circle.
Alex with that AVR again.
And you can see half his body right there. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You go another 5 feet, and the hill really wasn't in the way for him or you.
Yeah.
But once you get on this downslope, you can see the pin completely, and it's a huge advantage.
Eric with the big drive.
I don't think I've seen many drives go past the 200 sign.
I was worried it was a little too wide, but really not. Not that bad. Just right to the pin with the putter.
That's that post-shot talk that comes from a nervy player sometimes, you know? Nice
Yeah,
hit.
sure.
It's like when the disc comes out of your hand, you know, like if you're not quite settled in or at ease, everything doesn't feel right.
Yeah. I said something on mine as well, just like, a little short. And I mean, it was.
Well, you weren't wrong.
Yeah, but you just want to get those shots perfect.
And Eric thought his was wide, and he wasn't wrong.
Yeah.
It was a bit wide.
Yeah, for if you wanted to can it or something.
Right.
Another birdie.
Look at that, back-to-back star frames. That's $50 to charity.
Nice. Jomez better watch out because hole 6 isn't that tough. Hole 6, par 3, 270 going uphill. There's a little bit of OB, but it's not really in play. You can go high forehand over it all or mid-range straight at it. And you don't really have any risk on the green, just the elevated basket. Alex going high forehand.
Yeah. And good sit right there. That ground play is really hard, so you can, if you come at a wrong angle, just go flying past the basket.
MJ just so straight with it.
Yep. He could dunk that in with his hair. He could a little slingshot with his hair and sling it in there.
This is so good. Just slide right up to it.
Beautiful.
Give it a little kiss. I'm going with the Star Wraith furnished to me by Big Jerm himself.
Oh, see, I like this play. Even though the hole's only 270, avoid that bush at all costs. That bush will catch your disc.
I'm going way up.
And it'll drop it down. I went with a mortar, and I caught that bush, and I was lucky to stay safe. Mm-hmm. And I really wish I had thrown high speed. And this is a bit wide for Eric.
That's going to be a putt for $25, I think.
Yeah, that's
Eric can strike from there.
Jay and Des are hoping this goes in.
I'm hoping too. Come on.
Yeah, that's
a classic NoMez there.
That's the miss that, oh man, that'll drive you crazy. It drives me crazy watching it. Basket, chains, basket, NoMez.
Ouch.
And if the wind were coming around and maybe pushed it out, that would have been a SloMez.
Speaking of weather, this is the 10 a.m. tee time. Look at Alex, 5 straight birdies.
Oh, my goodness. Look at that. It's kind of quiet. That's kind of his style, too, though, isn't it? Like, he's just unassuming.
Yep.
And then, there you go, 16 under.
But 10 a.m. tee time, we played in just beautiful weather. A little cool, little tiny bit of wind, but no rain, and it got serious after our round ended. And a lot more rain for the later tee time. So we had a very lucky draw.
Yeah, this is the fortunate time to be playing on the course, without a question. Look
wow,
at
the
this.
drone is really risking it all right now. Hole 7, par 4, 825. This one generally plays as a par 5. This is a good choice, though. This is the short basket position. With elite players, this is just playing as a very hard par 4. Roller is a good option. Low backhand also doable here. You just want to get as much distance as you can, seeing as that it's 825 feet as a par 4 with trees in the way.
Yeah, this is heading out wide, but has enough understability to flex back into the fairway. And this hole actually plays as a par 5 casually and has been shortened quite a bit from the 2014 Worlds placement, which was over the hill. And this was actually the hole that Macbeth took down Ricky Wysocki in that epic playoff battle that we had mentioned earlier.
MJ with the air shot to the left.
But, when I was playing this hole yesterday, my group and I were talking about just how fantastic of a par 4 this is for this level of play. It requires 2 incredibly precise shots at that 400 range, and then the green is slopey and it's
And there's
lead
OB.
you down out of bounds. I mean, and the OB tightens all the way down the fairway, whereas from the beginning it's quite wide. It's just a phenomenal hole.
And Eric hits a little high. My roller I thought was just great, but that tree is right where the roller wants to be. So
it was so close to being exactly what you want.
This is a destroyer, and I'm pretty happy with this shot, getting about 400 out of it. Take a look at this shot.
Eric pushing back door.
Gap.
Over the branches,
Gap,
under
gap.
the branches, skipping down right at the edge of the circle. Unbelievable.
He said something like, wow, that got a lucky gap. And I was like, gap, man. Gaps. That is gaps.
Yeah, no doubt.
It was sweet, though. He got a little wide, but it just cruised and, perfect weight on it. He's got about 38 feet.
Alex catching some low limbs, going to leave him a short approach to the pin. Par is a great score on this one, though. Averaging 4.4. Anytime you can get a score that's averaging about a half a stroke below the average, you're feeling pretty good.
Yeah, and Alex, unfortunate there, got up a little bit for him. Hits the branches, jump putt.
Oh, no.
Outside the circle here.
In danger of taking a double bogey? No danger there. You can borrow MJ's hair to sling that thing in there for you.
He can also use it himself. Eric for a big-time birdie.
Just high from the beginning. Needed a phantom tailwind to smash that down.
Alex for bogey.
Wow, and just like that, back down to 3 under. And not a tap in. Had to work for the double there. A devastating blow after that just ridiculously hot start. Only 8 threes on the day on hole 7. Yours truly included.
Ooh, nice.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much.
Yeah, you're welcome, buddy.
Hole 8, par 3, 315, out of bounds ditch here with all these dead trees in it and out of bounds wrapping around the pin as well. If you go OB here, you go to a drop zone that's about 90 feet through a gap, so automatic 4 or worse. This is a tough drive. Players are going to go turnover, backhand, mid-range perhaps, but most guys, if you have a forehand for this distance, that's what you're going to go to here. MJ hates this one.
Turned it early. He knew he was bringing the trees into play, and
he got the little kick. He kicked off the branch and just corrected perfect.
And that's going to bring MJ to 5 down through 8.
I'm going with Excalibur here.
And are you just a little concerned with coming up short with your Firebird?
Not anymore. Not after I saw that. I'm sort of thinking about doing Firebird instead. I don't know. I don't want to get too cute on this hole, though, honestly. With the OB just where it is, I just kind of feel like the ideal play is about 20 feet long.
Well, if cute is coming up short, then I was super duper cute because I tried to go with my Thunderbird and I came up short. So
OB?
Yeah, somewhere between those two is like.
Yeah, that's what you want.
Maybe the X-Cal higher or something.
Maybe.
Anyways, Eric off to the right side, circle's edge. We're just talking about strategy here. Yeah. We still have to play the tournament,
Yeah, we got a lot on our minds.
Yep.
We're multitasking.
Alex
just parking it
right back. And speaking of cute, that just barely got over that hillside, which is perfect, but any shorter, and that might not have gotten him back in bounds.
We're very close. We're very, very close to.
This was a little bit of a scary putt.
Sure.
We got a good, fortunate reaction. Went too floaty with it. Didn't skip off the top.
Now, that's a frustrating place, and Eric's right. He is so close. He almost makes that birdie on hole 6. Almost makes the birdie on hole 7. Almost makes the birdie on hole 8.
Yep.
And that starts to wear down on a player a bit, you on a course that has out of bounds so often, every single hole, to be in position to birdie and not take advantage of it, it'll get to you.
Yep.
And I got to give a quick shout out to Liam Stott picking up the only hole-in-one on the day. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, nice, Liam. Look at our leaderboard check-in. Look at that, -6.
There's some hot starts out there without a question. These are mostly all early tee times too. People that were out early before the rain came out, really taking advantage of the favorable conditions.
Hole 9, par 4, just 515 feet. This one is trying to tempt you to go huge and go for that little last bit of island and get on the green, but I don't know that anyone is really taking the bait here. I think almost all players are just playing a pretty relaxed hyzer of about 375 feet and then chipping up to the green. This is definitely in contention for statistically easiest hole on the tour.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. 3.2, I mean, that's almost not, that's kind of like a tough par 3.
Yeah, I mean, hole 1 is certainly
like a relatively. I think hole 1 averaged higher.
Certainly. So these are just going to be, pretty wide open shots. You just throw a hyzer out there. Don't try for too much, or you're going to go OB. It really doesn't matter much where you land. The thing I was thinking about this hole that might, the cool thing about Blue Lake is the design can be changed just by mowing it differently. I was thinking maybe like an hourglass shape makes sense here, where you can be really short or really long. But you don't want to be like kind of long, where we're all going now. It's too wide in the spot where it makes it too easy.
I was thinking a very similar thing. I also thought if you made the hole like 10% smaller, and maybe if it was at 480 distance or 470, it might entice the players to go for it. But this is like a hole where a 3 doesn't feel like a birdie and a 2 feels like an eagle.
Yep.
There's really no birdie.
You're right about that. Because this is the upshot that all these players are left with.
And you dunk this in, you're like, yeah, sweet, eagle.
Yeah, I threw it in from 150.
But if you get that approach up and down with nothing in the way, the only thing that can make this hole really difficult ever is pouring down rain or wind. Yeah. If it was windy, it would be way harder than even the rain. Are you thinking about trying to give this a run, or is that just Nate Safety?
Not worth it, especially with the tall basket. I'm not trying to mess around.
Yeah. Traditional Nate Safety right there for you. Just play up under the bucket. And we're not fooled by the high basket. That doesn't really make it any harder here. Like I said,
with no wind,
it needs the wind. You could blow your approach, and come up about 28 feet short and still be in the circle and feel like you just really screwed up. Yeah. But you're still inside the circle. Yeah.
Pretty easy birdies for the whole card here.
Look at that start from MJ. That's an awesome front 9. 6 under par. 5 under for you. Alex
there it
Russell.
Is, star frame.
Alex Russell with the double bogeys at 5 under. And we got $25 more, bringing it to $75 in total for the Edge program, donated by Jomez. Awesome front 9. You guys are tearing it up right now. Can't wait to see what the back 9, the treacherous Blue Lake back 9 has in store.
The back 9 is where it happens at Blue Lake. Tune in, check it out. It's coming to you right now.